shattered dreams, Maya Chen stared at the half-empty apartment, sunlight streaming through windows that no longer had curtains. The silence felt heavy, broken only by the gentle cooing of her 6-month-old son, Noah, in the portable crib beside her desk. 3 weeks had passed since David walked out, claiming he never signed up for fatherhood and needed to find himself before disappearing with their joint savings. "We'll be okay," she whispered to Noah, gently stroking his soft cheek. Her son's dark eyes, so like her own, gazed up trustingly. The weight of that trust squeezed her heart. Maya had met David during her final year of linguistic studies. His charm and ambition had swept her off her feet, and 2 years later they were married. When she discovered she was pregnant, she'd been overjoyed. David had smiled and hugged her, but something had shifted in his eyes, something she'd chosen not to see. The laptop on her desk pinged with an email notification. Another rejection for a translation position. With a sigh, Maya closed it and leaned back, mentally calculating how many weeks her meager savings would last. The university where she'd worked part-time hadn't renewed her contract when she'd taken maternity leave. "Your timing could use some work, David," she murmured bitterly, then immediately felt guilty. None of this was Noah's fault. Maya's gaze drifted to the wall where her language certificates hung. Mandarin, her mother tongue, English, Spanish, French, Japanese, Russian, and Portuguese. Languages had always been her sanctuary, the place where her mind felt most alive. The way words formed bridges between cultures had fascinated her since childhood. Her phone buzzed with a text from her best friend, Zoe. "Have you considered what I suggested? Online teaching? You could work from home with Noah." Maya bit her lip. She'd hesitated, doubting anyone would pay for virtual language lessons. But now, with rent due in 2 weeks, pride was a luxury she couldn't afford. "What do you think, little one?" she asked Noah, who responded with a gurgling smile. "Should Mama try teaching online?" That night, after Noah finally fell asleep, Maya sat cross-legged on her bed with her laptop. She created profiles on 3 teaching platforms and recorded a short introduction video demonstrating her fluency in all 7 languages. With trembling fingers, she clicked publish and set modest rates, low enough to attract students, but hopefully sufficient to cover essential bills. For 3 days, nothing happened. Maya alternated between caring for Noah and anxiously refreshing her profile pages. On the 4th morning, she awoke to 5 booking requests. Relief washed over her like a warm wave. By the end of the month, Maya had a small but steady stream of students. She taught during Noah's naps and in the evenings, often surviving on 4 hours of sleep. Exhaustion shadowed her eyes, but each payment notification brought her closer to stability. One evening, as she finished a group lesson on business Japanese, a comment appeared in the chat from a user called Night Owl 7. "Your method of explaining the honorific system was clearer than anything I've found in 3 years of study. Do you offer private sessions?" Maya smiled tiredly at the screen. "Yes, I do," she typed back. "You can book through my profile." What she didn't know was that Night Owl 7 was sitting in a penthouse office 40 floors above Manhattan, surrounded by screens displaying market data for his multi-billion-dollar translation software company. Nor could she guess how this simple interaction would soon transform her carefully reconstructed world. Digital connection. Liam Harrington removed his glasses and rubbed the bridge of his nose, staring at the paused video of Maya Chen's lesson. Something about her teaching style had captivated him. The way she connected linguistic patterns to cultural contexts, explaining not just how words worked, but why they mattered. "Anything else, Mr. Harrington?" His assistant hovered by the door, tablet in hand. "Cancel tomorrow's meeting with the development team," Liam said, replacing his glasses. "I need to think about our approach." After his assistant left, Liam clicked book session on Maya's profile, selecting a private lesson under his Night Owl 7 username. His translation software company BabbleCore dominated the market with algorithms that could translate content with 98.7% accuracy. Yet something was missing. Something human that Maya Chen seemed to understand intuitively. Across the city, Maya stared at the private booking notification. The user had paid for a premium package of 10 sessions at double her listed rate, with a note, willing to pay extra for flexible scheduling. Need help with presentation in multiple languages, Noah babbled from his playmat, waving a stuffed elephant enthusiastically. Maya smiled at him. Relief flooding through her at the unexpected financial cushion this booking provided. Looks like we might make rent and have some left over for that special formula the doctor recommended, she told him, kneeling to kiss his forehead. The following evening, Maya settled into her teaching space, a corner of her living room with a bookshelf backdrop that hid the apartment's peeling wallpaper. Noah had finally fallen asleep after a fussy day. She smoothed her hair, applied a touch of lip gloss, and clicked "Start Session." A man appeared on screen, his features partly shadowed by dim lighting. Dark hair, sharp jawline, intense eyes behind stylish glasses. He seemed to be in an office with minimalist decor. "Hello?" She began with a warm smile. "I'm Maya Chen. You must be—" She checked her notes. "Night Owl 7? Call me Liam," he said, his voice deep and measured. "Thank you for accommodating my schedule." There was something guarded about him that intrigued Maya. Most clients were eager to share why they needed language help. Upcoming trips, family connections, business opportunities. Liam offered nothing. "So," she continued, "you mentioned needing help with a presentation in multiple languages. Which languages specifically, and what's the subject matter?" "Japanese, Mandarin, Spanish, and French. It's for a technology conference, explaining a new approach to communication platforms." For the next hour, Maya found herself engaged in the most intellectually stimulating conversation she'd had in months. Liam wasn't a beginner. He had solid fundamentals in each language, but sought the nuances, the cultural implications behind word choices, the subtle differences that automated translation missed. Most translation focuses on accuracy, Maya explained, sharing her screen to demonstrate examples. But effective communication requires understanding intent, context, even emotion. Something shifted in Liam's expression, a spark of recognition. "That's exactly what I've been trying to articulate," he said, leaning forward. "The difference between correct translation and meaningful connection." When Noah's cries interrupted them 40 minutes in, Maya apologized profusely, expecting irritation. "Your child?" Liam asked as she momentarily disappeared to check on Noah. "Yes, my son," she confirmed, returning with Noah against her shoulder. "I'm sorry for the interruption." To her surprise, Liam's expression softened. No apology needed. Family comes first. By their third session, Maya found herself looking forward to their meetings. Liam was brilliant but surprisingly humble about his linguistic knowledge. He never explained what the presentation was for, and she didn't press, appreciating the professionalism of their arrangement. What she couldn't know was that Liam had already rescheduled 3 major investor meetings to accommodate their sessions, or that her insights were reshaping the entire direction of his company's future development, or that each time he logged off, he found himself thinking about her smile long after the screen went dark. Symphony of second chances. The applause was thunderous as Liam concluded his multilingual presentation. Cameras flashed while industry experts surged forward with questions about Babelcor's new human-centered technology platform. Maya watched from the wings, heart swelling with both pride and uncertainty. David hovered nearby, his press credentials giving him access he clearly intended to exploit. "We need to talk, Maya," he insisted during a quiet moment. "About us, about Noah." "There hasn't been an us since you emptied our account and disappeared," she replied, keeping her voice low. "And Noah isn't a bargaining chip." "I made a mistake," David said, his expression practiced in remorse. "I got scared, but I'm ready now. Especially since you've clearly moved up in the world." His gaze flickered meaningfully toward Liam on stage. The insinuation stung, but before Maya could respond, Liam's voice came through the speakers. "None of this would have been possible without my chief linguistic consultant, who showed me what our technology was missing, the human element that gives language its soul." "Maya Chen, would you join me?" Startled, Maya found herself walking onto the stage as if in a dream, cameras turning toward her as Liam extended his hand. "Ms. Chen is the architect of our new approach," Liam told the audience, his eyes never leaving hers. Her insights have transformed not just our technology, but our entire philosophy about human communication. For the next 10 minutes, they fielded questions together, Maya's academic knowledge perfectly complementing Liam's technical expertise. When a reporter asked about her background, she spoke honestly about being a single mother building a career from her apartment, deliberately avoiding any mention of David, who watched from the crowd with thinly veiled calculation. After the presentation, at a reception filled with industry elites, Liam led Maya to a quiet corner. "I have a proposition," he said, uncharacteristically nervous. "Babelcore needs someone to head our new linguistic empathy division. The position comes with creative control, a significant salary, and flexible hours compatible with parenthood." Maya studied him, searching for his motivation. "Is this a real position or are you creating it for me?" "Both," he admitted. "The company needs exactly what you offer. And yes, I want you in my life, professionally and," he hesitated, "perhaps more, if you're open to that possibility." Before she could answer, David appeared beside them, champagne in hand. "Quite the power couple," he observed with false lightness. "Maya, we really should discuss co-parenting arrangements, especially now that I'm back in the picture." "I've already spoken with my attorney." "Your attorney?" Maya interrupted, disbelief coloring her voice. Liam straightened, his expression hardening. "Mr.
Chen, David Chen," he supplied smoothly. "Maya's husband." "Estranged husband," Maya corrected firmly.
"Who has had zero contact with his son for 8 months.
David's smile tightened.
"A regrettable situation I'm here to rectify. Though I'm curious when exactly my wife became involved with Babelcore's CEO. The calculated implication hung in the air. Maya realized with sudden clarity that David saw her as a path to financial gain, whether through reconciliation or litigation. "I think you should leave," Liam said quietly. "Or what?" David challenged.
"You'll buy my family too?"
"No one is buying anyone," Maya interjected, finding strength she hadn't known she possessed. "David, we'll arrange proper visitation through attorneys if you're genuinely interested in Noah's welfare. But there is no reconciliation happening here." She turned to Liam. "And you, I need to know if your interest in me, in my work, is genuine or if I've just been an experiment in linguistic empathy." Liam's expression softened. "The most genuine thing in my life in years," he answered simply. Later that night, after lawyers had been called and David had stormed off with threats of custody battles, Maya and Liam sat in his penthouse, the city lights sparkling below them. Noah slept peacefully in a portable crib Liam had thoughtfully arranged. "I can't take the job," Maya said finally. "Not yet." Disappointment flashed across Liam's face. "Not because I don't want it," she continued, "but because I need to stand on my own first. Build something that's entirely mine." Understanding dawned in his eyes. "What do you need?" "Time. Space to create my own language education platform. And maybe," she added softly, "someone who believes in me enough to wait while I do it." 6 months later, Maya's online academy Bridges launched with innovative courses connecting language learning to cultural understanding. Though Liam had offered funding, she had accepted only his technical advice, building the platform largely through small investors who believed in her vision. On launch day, as subscribers poured in, Maya received a message. "Proud of you. Dinner tonight to celebrate? Noah's favorite pasta place?" Lover candlelight that evening, with Noah happily spreading spaghetti across his high chair, Liam reached for Maya's hand. "I have something to confess," he said. "Babelcore is integrating Bridges' methodology into our enterprise platform. With full credit and licensing fees to you, of course." Maya laughed. "I know. My attorney showed me the contract yesterday." "Sneaky," he observed with admiration. "I learned from the best," she replied, squeezing his hand. "A wise, somewhat secretive tech CEO once showed me that broken beginnings don't determine how the story ends." As Noah babbled happily between them, Liam leaned across the table. "Speaking of stories, I'm ready for ours to begin properly. No usernames, no secrets, no shadows from the past." Maya felt the walls around her heart, built through months of abandonment and struggle, finally crumble completely. "I'm ready too," she whispered, leaning forward to meet his kiss. Outside, snow began to fall, covering the city in possibilities as pristine and full of promise as the new chapter unfolding between them. Invisible Bridges Maya gently swayed, humming a lullaby as Noah drifted to sleep against her chest. Her phone screen glowed with a text from Liam. Their 7th session would need to be rescheduled due to unexpected business developments. Over the past 3 weeks, their professional relationship had evolved into something she hesitated to name. "I don't even know what he really does," she whispered to Noah, "or what he looks like in proper lighting." Yet she couldn't deny the flutter in her chest when their sessions ran long, conversation flowing beyond language instruction into discussions about literature, cultural philosophies, even their different views on technology's role in human connection. Liam had shared small fragments of himself, his childhood fascination with codes, how he'd taught himself programming at 13, his belief that language barriers were humanity's greatest obstacle to progress. But he revealed nothing about his company, his position, or his personal life. Maya respected his privacy. After David's betrayal, she understood the value of careful boundaries. Across town, Liam stood at his office window, staring at the city lights while his executive team debated behind him. Babelcorp's new direction, inspired entirely by Maya's insights, was causing friction. The market doesn't want emotional context, his CFO argued. They want speed and accuracy. They don't know they want it yet, Liam replied quietly, thinking of how Maya had explained the 72 ways to express apology in Japanese, each carrying different emotional weights. Our current approach is reaching its limit. Later that night, alone in his penthouse, Liam opened his laptop and did something unprofessional. He researched Maya Chen beyond her teaching profile. What he found made his chest tighten. Her academic publications on linguistic empathy, news about university budget cuts affecting her department, a small wedding announcement from 3 years ago, nothing recent about her husband, nothing explaining why she taught at odd hours with a baby nearby. His finger hovered over the call button on their teaching platform. It was midnight, inappropriate for a session, yet he pressed it anyway. To his surprise, Maya answered, her hair loose around her shoulders instead of its usual neat bun. "Liam, is everything all right?" "I'm sorry for the late hour," he said, suddenly unsure why he'd called. "I had a question about tomorrow's presentation practice." She tilted her head, clearly not believing him. At midnight? Something about her gentle skepticism broke through his carefully constructed walls. "No," he admitted. "I just wanted to talk. Not about languages, just talk." A smile spread across her face, warmer, more genuine than her professional one. "I'd like that. Noah's finally sleeping through the night, and I was just staring at the ceiling anyway." For the next 2 hours, they spoke about everything except work. Maya told him about growing up between cultures, her Chinese mother and American father creating a home where languages blended naturally. She mentioned Noah's father only briefly. He decided parenthood wasn't for him. With a carefully neutral expression that didn't hide the pain in her eyes, Liam shared more than he had with anyone in years about building his company from his college dorm room, the loneliness of success, how people now approached him for what he could provide rather than who he was. "That's why you use a username instead of your real identity," Maya realized aloud. Liam hesitated. "Yes. With you, I'm just someone learning, not—" He stopped himself before revealing too much. "Not whatever important person you are during the day?" She finished with a knowing smile. He laughed, a genuine sound that surprised even him. Something like that. When they finally said goodnight, something had shifted between them. An invisible bridge constructed of shared vulnerabilities and midnight confessions. The next morning, Maya received a delivery. A package containing a state-of-the-art laptop for more reliable sessions and a handcrafted wooden rattle for Noah. No note. But she knew exactly who they were from, and in his corner office, Liam canceled his scheduled business trip to Japan. The presentation could be delivered virtually. Somehow, the thought of missing next week's sessions with Maya seemed unacceptable. What neither realized was how quickly their Carefully constructed worlds were approaching. A collision course. The shadows from the past. Maya adjusted her webcam, heart racing as she prepared for the session. Today, Liam would deliver his presentation to her in all 4 languages for final refinement. His progress had been remarkable, his natural analytical mind absorbing cultural nuances with impressive speed. "You're staring at that screen like it holds the secrets of the universe," Zoe commented, bouncing Noah on her knee. She'd agreed to babysit during this critical session. "It's just an important client," Maya replied, avoiding her friend's knowing gaze. A client who sends you midnight texts and fancy baby toys." Before Maya could respond, her phone buzzed with a message. "Unexpected media present for presentation. Sending car to bring you to location. Professional opportunity. Trust me?" Maya stared at the message. "Go to him? In person? Zoe, could you watch Noah a little longer than planned?" she asked, already reaching for her nicest blazer. 30 minutes later, a sleek black car deposited Maya at the entrance of the BabbleTech conference, the year's most prestigious gathering of translation and communication technology companies. The driver handed her a badge labeled Special Consultant and directed her to a private entrance. Confusion swirled through her mind as a staff member ushered her through corridors to a waiting area with screens displaying the main stage. There, a man stood with his back to her, tall and broad-shouldered in an impeccably tailored suit. When he turned, Maya's breath caught. Without the dim lighting and webcam distortion, Liam was striking, intense blue eyes, strong jawline, and an expression that softened instantly upon seeing her. "You came," he said simply. "You still haven't told me why I'm here," she replied. Trying to steady her racing pulse, Liam took a deep breath. "My name is Liam Harrington. I'm the CEO and founder of BabbleCore." The revelation hit Maya like a physical force. BabbleCore, the translation technology giant valued at over $30 billion. The company whose automated services had made many human translators, including potentially herself, obsolete. She faltered, pieces falling into place. "His privacy? The expensive gifts? The mysterious presentation?" "I should have told you sooner," he said, stepping closer. "But with you, I wasn't the CEO everyone wants something from. I was just me." Before Maya could respond, a commotion erupted at the entrance. A familiar voice sent ice through her veins. "Maya, it is you." David stood there, designer suit and camera-ready smile in place, press badge dangling from his neck. Her estranged husband, who had walked away from her and Noah without a backward glance, now looked at her with calculated interest. "What are you doing here?" she asked, voice barely steady. "I'm covering the conference for Tech Insider," he replied smoothly, eyes darting between her and Liam. Recognition dawned on his face. "Wait, you know Liam Harrington?" Liam stepped protectively closer to Maya. "Ms. Chen is my linguistic consultant and an invaluable part of today's presentation." David's expression transformed into the charming mask Maya once found irresistible. "That's amazing. We should all catch up after. I've been meaning to contact you about seeing Noah." The casual mention of the son he'd abandoned sent anger surging through Maya. "Now you want to see him? After 8 months of silence?" David lowered his voice, leaning closer. "Things have changed. I've changed. And clearly," his eyes flicked meaningfully toward Liam, "your situation has improved considerably." The implication was clear. He believed she'd leveraged a relationship with a billionaire. Before Maya could respond, staff members appeared to escort Liam to the stage. He hesitated, clearly reluctant to leave her with David. "I'll be fine," she assured him. "Go give your presentation." As Liam walked away, David moved closer. "You always did land on your feet," he murmured. "How about dinner tonight? We have a lot to discuss about our future." Maya stared at him, suddenly seeing clearly what had taken months to understand. "There is no our future, David. There's my future with Noah, which I've built without you." On the screen, Liam took the stage to announce BabbleCore's revolutionary new direction, a human-centered approach to translation technology that would work with linguists rather than replace them. As he smoothly transitioned between languages, using examples they had practiced together, Maya realized she stood at a crossroads between her past and something new, something both frightening and exhilarating in its possibility.